So a new version of Rampage Knights came out, and well, there's this new well, this is just one of the things. There's a new disease, and it's a lock picking fear. But as you just saw, that was the first time it made no difference. Still hasn't really made much difference. Yeah, it just doesn't make much difference. Here's something fun you can do. Knock over the friendly skeleton, pick him up, and take him and see how far you can take him through the enchanted forest. Unfortunately, you can't get him further than that because he gets lost at the last gate there. So they added a new item that gives you another life, but you come back with a random curse. Note that it also uses itself for your demons if you're playing Warlock. You also take damage when picking it up, and I thought it was a spell and that you can use it later, but no, it uses it when you pick it up. Yeah, so that's what happens. But luckily I really quite like the Curse Crank because I generally get more health back than I lose. And the worst part is how it kind of rushes you around, but apart from that it's alright. And I prefer it from other curses. I swear, this is the most common glitch I see, not being able to pick up stuff. Just the stuff that normally when they're out on the pit, I'm not sure if they're actually at the bottom of the pit, but they look like they're at the top of the pits. It's just like no thing to compare it with. I'm not sure. But that's not the point. I'm pretty sure that money and items shouldn't be able to even fall down there. Another new item, Molten Mittens. They don't seem like overly OP or really that good of a weapon, but they do give you fire immunity, so that's probably the best part about it. So they added a new enemy for Halloween, and yeah, he throws pumpkins, which they jump up at snapping you and do like 10 damage. Well, I quite like the enemies because they also kill the enemy team, and they don't chase you, they just jump around and hurt whoever's above them. So I don't mind any enemy that also attacks their own team. Now they added a pretty cool weapon here. They're called Spring something, I can't remember. They aren't like, they don't take up your spot for other boots or anything, but they make you jump really high, and it's actually really useful because if you're ever in trouble you just jump and you dodge the hit, and it's also faster than walking too, so pretty cool. It makes it a bit harder to jump attack, but that's alright. I got used to it after a while. It took me a while though. You can now find the parrot, like in chests and at the familiar shop that they sometimes have when you go into the goblin shop thing, which is alright. I quite like the parrot as a familiar. It's probably better than the mini demon. Yeah, it's not the best, it's not the worst. And the steel springs help against the Iron Maiden here. See, I just jumped over his charge there. This is the most OP weapon in the game that I'm about to pick up there. Ice Cool. Freezes the whole room. Got some gameplay here where quite OP here. So all I have to do is actually just kill one guy and the whole room freezes. So as us spawning there, those guys, I'm just freezing them. Doesn't matter. Sometimes they don't freeze for some reason. I don't know why. But that one didn't freeze just then. They all freeze again. Also got this annoying curse which makes rooms that don't even normally have enemies in them have enemies in them, and if they've got enemies in them, they've just got more enemies in them. On the upside though, it does change explosive barrels into enemies and you can't ever hurt yourself on them, which I often get killed by. And then I die always stupidly like that, even though I've got the most OP weapon in the game. I've got the demonic eye here, which is my favourite familiar because just does a lot more damage than the rest. Here I decided actually to choose the Hammer of Elements over my Icicle here, even though it's not as good. Just because it has higher damage than the Icicle. I think Icicle is only tier 4, this is tier 5. And damage more counterskates the final boss, and I was getting near the end here. I mean, next one's Laboratory, so yeah, would have been better against the final boss. Freezing the enemies doesn't do much. Also, finally beat Insane here, which I'd been trying for a while. It kind of took me, when I first started, it took me a while to beat Casual. And then, once I managed to beat Casual, normal and hard weren't actually that much harder. For some reason I've had a lot of trouble getting Insane. I've got right to the final boss and I failed. I'll talk about that actually. I tried my scroll of building, thinking that, because if you have something for levitation, you can go right to the, you don't have to choose one of those things to fly on the end. But I tried using the scroll of building, I thought I'd just be able to walk into the boss fight. But no, you fool. I was Warlock, I lost my demons. And then with the low HP, I actually managed to die against the boss, which was kind of surprising. Yeah, that kind of made me rage. And since I was so pleased that I beat Insane, I actually watched this part, which takes a while, but yeah, that's just how pleased I was.